2.2, addition and subtraction equations. Our objective here is for all the students to be able to solve addition and subtraction problems that include integers, decimals, and fractions. So what is our goal when solving equations? That's right, our goal is to get down to find out what is the value for the unknown variable. X equals, right? Okay? Remember, whatever mathematical operation you complete on one side of the equal sign, you must do the same on the other. Okay? When you're completing an addition equation, you apply the subtraction property of equality and solve for the unknown variable, which could be x, y, z, c, a, b, c. Okay? Here on the left, we have x plus 12 equals negative 23. So if I apply the subtraction property of equality, I'm going to subtract 12 on both sides. Why would I subtract 12 instead of subtracting 23? Because we want to get the variable x all by itself on one side of the equation. So there we go. You've crossed that out. Then you've got x equals, we have negative 23 minus 12. In essence, we're adding two negatives. A negative plus a negative is going to equal a negative. So negative 23 plus negative 12 is going to be, that is correct, negative 35. So x equals negative 35. Okay? Over here we have c plus 3.2 equals 1.54. Same thing over here. We're going to subtract 3.2. Remember, when subtracting decimals or adding decimals, you want to line up the decimal points. So we're subtracting 3.20 over here. Okay? Crosses this out. So we have 1.54 up top and then negative 3.20. That 0 is a placeholder right here. We're referring to this 0 right there. Okay? So we're going to flip it and do 3.20 minus 1.54. Okay, we can't subtract from there. Let's carry here. It's going to be 5. We bring down the decimal point straight down. We've got 1. Let's carry this one over here. It's going to make that a 2. Carry the 1. It'll be 11 minus 4, which is 7. 2 minus 1 is going to be 1. We go back to our original problem. Our larger number here was negative. So the answer is going to be negative. So C equals negative 1.75. Okay? When solving subtraction equations, apply the addition property of equality to solve for the unknown variable. So we have b minus 23 equals 43. So we apply the addition property of equality on both sides. We're going to add 23. Again, we're going to add 23 because it is on the same side as the variable. You want to get that variable solo. Crosses these out. So then b is going to equal 23 minus 43 is 20. If we look over here to the right, we have a minus 3.8 equals 43.77. Okay, so again, apply that property, the addition property of equality. So we're going to add 3.8 both sides. Again, the importance of lining up the decimal place is huge. Okay, so you have got 43.77. We're going to add a 3.8. We'll add a 0 there for place value. It's going to be 7, 15. Again, decimal place goes in the same spot. We line it up. So we start here, bring it all the way down. Decimal place. Okay. We're going to have 4 plus 3, which is 7, and 4. So in essence, 47.57 equals A. Alright, the last part with adding and subtracting equations, we did the integers, we did the decimals, now we have the fractions. So what must you have when adding and subtracting fractions? Biscuits and gravy, there we go. That's right, folks. I'm sure you're thinking it. I'm sure you shouted it to the rooftops. But we have to have common denominators. Alright? So if we have x plus 3/4 equals 1/2. Okay, this is a pretty basic fraction equation, addition equation. So we're going to follow the same guidelines that we followed a couple slides ago. This is an addition equation, so we have to apply the subtraction property of equality. So we're going to subtract 3/4 from both sides. We cannot subtract that until we get common denominators. So the least common denominator, or LCD, of 1/2 and 3/4 is going to be, that's correct, 4. So over here in purple, we have 1/2 going to, we got to have a 4 on the bottom. So multiply 2 on the bottom, 2 up top. That's going to be 2/4. Okay? So I'm going to erase this really quickly. Alright. So this is going to change to x equals 2/4 minus 3/4. Okay? Our denominator stays the same. 2 minus 3 is a -1. So we have -1/4 equals x. Okay, so I'm not sure if you're going to see this on tomorrow's homework or not, but just in case, just in case you have a addition or a subtraction equation that is fractions and decimals, which you have seen before, I'm sure, just make sure that you get them all down to like terms. So for instance, if you have 0.2 plus 1/2 x equals, we're going to go 3/4 again because that's easy. Okay. You've got a decimal, fraction, fraction, right? So we have more fractions than we do decimals, so it would be an easier step if we just went from this decimal to a fraction, but you could also go and change these two fractions into decimals, but they all have to be like terms. So we're going to put this one, we're going to put 0.2 into a fraction. How do we do that? The 2 right here, the ending number in this decimal, is in the tenths place. So we're going to go 2/10. That's it. We're going to mark that down into simplified terms. So it's going to be 1/5. So our new equation is 1/5 plus 1/2 x equals 3/4. Okay? Quickly, the LCD of 5, 2, and 4 would be 20. Very good. So we're going to multiply that by 4, that by 4. So that's going to be 4/20 plus, multiply that by 10 and that by 10. So it would be 10/20x equals times 5 times 5. Our last one is going to be 15/20. Then you'd solve. Okay, good luck. Make sure that you've watched the video enough times to have all of the notes and examples down. Okay, the end of the video question this time is, what is Miss Felchner's favorite band? The answer currently is Sugarland. Please put that in your notes.